Hello, and welcome back to Pints with Pals. My name's Mike, and joined with me are Jason and Jeremy. Say hi, guys.
The Brady Bunch.
Hi, guys.
So today, it's special for us, but none of you guys will ever be able to try it. So, actually, I have a bunch. So if you want some, let me know, and I'll get you some. But this is a variant of Founders Curmudgeons Better Half. This one's a deep cut. It was a Mug Club exclusive. So I was a member of the Mug Club when this happened to come out. So we got a bunch of it.
4 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the Detroit Mug Club, which I have. I'm grab my glass. You can.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You can't really see it. Founders
Yeah.
Mug Club Detroit, 2020, and that's when this was bottled. And you can't really see my logo, but
Is that
a little.
what's location still open?
No,
No.
they closed their Detroit location.
Is yours growing too?
Yep. It smells very Founders.
It looks like a Curmudgeons. It's got that like caramel color. Smells
Afraid
sweet.
to pour it
That's-
all the way.
You're afraid to pour. Oh, I don't think there's gonna be floaties.
No, I didn't have no floaties in mine.
Nope.
There, now you can see the logo a little bit better. Detroit
I was
20.
saying more like a mahogany color.
Yeah, yours. Yeah.
I feel like even Mike's has a nice little red to it, like mahogany.
It is a very,
doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, it's a
Do it
very
justice.
interesting color.
A lot of maple syrup, a lot of molasses. See, like, I need to figure out how to get more maple syrup in my maple brown ale. I have an idea. We'll bring it up later.
It's
I like
actually
it. It's
surprisingly.
good sipper.
Wow.
I didn't like it.
That's delicious. Wow.
I
4
didn't like
years
it for a
apparently is the
minute.
trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's like
Uh,
calmed it out. It's like really rounded around. My first sip was definitely a thumbs up.
Oh, most definitely. Yep. It's good. But I like the other one too. So
I was never a fan of Better Half, but I think as I bought more of it and just had it sit in my basement, because all my friends liked it, I would buy more and more of it and give them a bottle or two, but I never liked it myself. But then eventually I had too much of it, so I'm like, okay, I'll finally open one. And it was, been sitting there for a year or two, and maybe that's the thing. You just gotta, with the Curmudgeons Better Half, maybe, and the deep cut, let it age, because this is real good. I'm sad that this is my last one.
Well, I have probably 10
Oh,
more.
there you go. I probably have more. They're just hidden.
you hit them on yourself. You try one a year from now.
Well, there's
Yeah, I'm
buried under
surprised at how
other
sweet it
beers.
is.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's definitely gotten, I think, more sweet. So there was like a funk. So basically what they said they did was they just like, they aged it for like 2 years, I think, in maple syrup barrels or something. I can't really tell. The label is very tiny and poorly written.
Yeah, so it's Better Half, just aged longer. I think twice as long.
It says
and
7 longer.
7 longer?
Yep, it says old ale brewed with molasses and aged in maple syrup bourbon barrels. Oh, barrels even longer. Sorry, I thought it says
Oh.
It's
7
barrels,
longer.
barrels and even
Yes.
mushed together, so it looks like barrel
Yeah.
7.
Yep,
That's
barrel 7
hilarious.
longer. I don't even know. Nah, it's not focusing. I wish it would though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's a nice little typo or spacing or they dropped a ball on them. It's okay. It's 4 years old. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Somebody said I was reading up and said like it has a fig flavor to it. I don't taste figs. I like figs, so I'm not getting no figgy flavor from it.
I could see that, though. Figs are very sweet, so I could
Yeah.
I could see figs. I didn't think figs, but now that
No.
you read that, I could see that.
Yeah. It's
I did get a
definitely
little bit of spicy note too, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of a burn, like an alcohol burn to it. That
Maybe licorice, black licorice, maybe for the spice or anison, I guess.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, anise.
which I think was the flavor that I didn't love originally.
Right.
for this
No, it's
one.
not strong. I hate black licorice.
Yeah, I do not like it.
Sorry, I have junk in my glasses and I can't see. It's driving me nuts.
Well, you did read 7 instead of even.
Yeah, I did.
I am a fan of black licorice. I don't necessarily taste it here, but I could see it. You know, I mean, flavors are all different. Everyone tastes something different.
Yeah, that's all subjective.
Yeah. I mean, this is 13.1%.
Yeah.
Bottle date was 10/28/2020, so it's coming up. Well, it's 3.5 years old.
Well, 3.5 old, yeah.
Granted, it's been aged for apparently 2 years, so it's an older beer. It's I kind of like it. It doesn't have, as Mike and I have said before, we get the Founder's Funk or whatever, the weird metallic taste. I don't get that from this. This is good. I'm definitely a thumbs up.
No.
But if you had it when it was fresh, I was a thumbs down.
I was a solid thumbs down when it first came out.
I was trying
That's-
to give away the case that I bought to Alicia because she liked it, and maybe she just was on another level.
Okay, so more taste, I get like more weird flavors. I get like maybe like a rum raisin.
That's
I
kind of
remember
what I
that when I
feel
was
like.
younger.
That's kind of what it
Yeah.
reminds me of. I guess is like a rum, but like a cooked rum, like you're saying, like a rum raisin cake kind of thing, where you get the raisiny notes, which could be the fig, I suppose. But I get more of a raisiny, which is kind of what happens to beer as it ages. It starts getting more and more raisiny. But in this situation, it was a sweet beer to begin with, so adding a little bit more sweetness to a sweet beer doesn't really kind of ruin it. Versus like other stouts, full-bodied stouts, I think that adding like a raisin flavor can kind of ruin, or has a tendency to ruin things.
Better half by itself is very sweet, and I've never had Curmudgeons. I do have a bottle. Whenever we're all together, like as we saw from the notes that we pulled up from when we did Better Half in season 1, I do have bye Jeremy. I do have a Curmudgeon that I would like us all to try. I don't know. Oh, that's a big boy. Is that? Oh, it's unopened.
That one's gone. I drank that a long time ago.
Oh, okay. But I would definitely like to try Curmudgeon. I don't know how it's going to hold up, but they haven't made Curmudgeon since 2016 or 2017 when I got that bottle.
Yeah, it says released in 2017. Or hasn't been released since 2017, so I don't know when you actually got it.
I've always heard good things. I never had it because I wasn't drinking back then. But I have one bottle of it left. Or maybe I only found one bottle.
So I'm super glad I let this thing sit out for like a half hour. I think it's like the perfect temperature.
Yeah, mine's fresh out of the fridge, so.
Yeah, mine's nice and.
Well, it's a weird, like, hits the
like
front of your
16.
tongue, the front of your palate, and then it just kind of explodes. And then it's like you have flavor all the way to the back of your palate, and then when you exhale, you get a little bit of the alcohol burn, which makes me wonder if it's gotten proofier the longer it's sat too. I don't know if that. Well, it does look like it did have, because of the thing, but there's no yeast at the bottom, so like there's no way it
a
got
little bit of
proofier.
yeast kind of floating around.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, I can see a little bit of residue at the bottom of mine, so
Yeah, I see a
maybe
little
it did eat a little bit more of the sugar and kind of gain a little bit of alcohol. I feel like that's the weird thing about this stuff too, is the beers could change from the bottom of the, like, from when they filled them. You know what I mean? Like, there's one giant vat, and the top of the vat could taste totally different than the bottom of the vat, and have like different impurities and whatever when they're making this stuff. So it's hard to say, but I'm pretty sure they all came from like the same day. Oh, when was yours bottle? Because you got yours is yours 10/28/20. Oh yeah, I'm sure they bottled them all on the same day, because it's probably just like
It was just a one run they
A
did.
one
Yeah.
done- a one done run.
Yeah, it was fun. So I used to live about 15 minutes from that Founders, and before COVID, you could Uber up there for like $15 or something. So it was a pretty cheap and quick Uber ride. And so we would go up there quite a bit, and it was a fun place. They had all kinds of stuff on tap. Well, they just there was, in I think 2019 or 18, I don't remember when, but there was like some sort of drama. Maybe it was 2020. There was some
right on
drama
COVID.
Yeah, that happened, and they shut down indefinitely for I feel like it was a good year and some change. So like the Mug Club members like got their Mug Club subscription suspended or something, and then I'm like, it wasn't worth the price to pay for it. It was fun-ish, but
I mean, if I was still, what was that?
I said, is that when that Chinese company bought them out?
it might have
Yeah.
been.
I felt like after that drama happened, they got bought out.
They sold in 2019. They sold pre-COVID. That's when that deal wrapped up. It wasn't this. It was the Spanish company that bought up a whole bunch of breweries.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the founders got bought by them. At least, major stakeholder, whatever, however that works when we don't sell shares. And they had an issue with their head brewer in Detroit. It was all the drama that ensued. Nothing was disclosed. They came to an agreement, whatever that means. But then, yeah, like a year or two later, they eventually closed the Detroit location, which kind of stinks. I did, if I was still living here, I feel like I would like to have that. Because Detroit, I guess now in recent years, they have Brew Detroit and, Eastern Market Brewing. There's a whole bunch of breweries now in Detroit, but back then Founders was kind of like the only thing that was on the map. I mean, there was, what's the one that our brew friend works for, Mike, that we talked to?
No, we don't tell. We don't say.
Oh, never mind.
Atwater?
Yes. Yeah, that's in Detroit, but they got bought out too. I think all the breweries are getting bought out.
I think it just happens. I think you get big enough, they offer you big lump sum. It's kind of hard to turn down sometimes.
Yeah, I have no hard feelings. I get it. I do sell out exactly. That's the whole point. Become successful, sell out, and you're done.
Yeah, which just sucks because I feel like the market for anything at this point has been just corporation after corporation after corporation. But that brewer friend that we knew actually said that he was pissed that they got bought out, but they still kind of let them do whatever they wanted to do. So, and then all that really meant was that they had way better equipment and way deeper pockets to like try more experimental stuff. So they were able to like get like almost spectrometers, but to that level, like where they're analyzing like everything to like the millidrop or whatever.
Yeah, he did have. I mean, with any larger corporation, there's a lot of red tape, and that was the thing he said is, yeah, we can do what we want, but we still have to get stuff approved, and it's boss's boss, or whatever that has to approve it. So there's that tedium, but yeah, no, I do love the little breweries though.
Yeah. That's what we seem to frequent quite a bit around here. Well, I guess there is no big. Probably the only well-known two breweries would be Yeehaw and Johnson City Brewing. They're probably about the two bigger ones that actually kind of go anywhere. The rest are just super local. Like Yeehaw has like 3 locations now, I think, in just Tennessee. But I've seen their beers in South Carolina when I went to go visit my son down there, so I know they're being distributed. And I've heard Johnson City Brewing being distributed pretty much a big chunk of the state as well too, which is kind of cool because they make some really crazy, interesting beers. They have one that's like it's blue and gold, and it's for ETSU, and it's a I'm trying to blank what kind it is right now. It's just an ale, like just a really good solid ale. But they have one that has like coriander in it. It's just kind of funky, kind of gives it a unique flavor. It's pretty good. No, you don't like it?
I have not, for whatever been a fan. I'm not really a fan of coriander because the Latouche I think has coriander in it, and that just like makes my whole face just turn beet red. I don't know what it is about it, or if it's just the wheat in it or whatever too. I like the taste, but it's just weird. It's different.
That's how you do like curry then with coriander in it.
I do like curry, but in a food, it's weird that way because I foods and drinks, I have different. I don't like spicy beer. I don't like. I don't like cinnamon flavoring in stuff. Like I'll do a shot of Fireball or Jack Fire or whatever those are, but that's about the extent of that. And it's just a real quick one and done kind of a situation. But yeah,
so strong, says cinnamon.
Yeah. So there's beers and stuff that have. Well, there's beers. A lot of the Mexican style, not like cervezas, but like they use the Mexican spices. Yeah. And then that'll have like either jalapenos or habaneros in it, and then actually like use cinnamon too. So like there's two things in there that kind of burn you in different ways.
There's one I had where he uses they rim it with like this papaya syrup, and then they put tahini on that, and then they put in the whatever beer you want, and a little bit of hot sauce or something like that. That was pretty good.
Did you guys do anything fun this weekend, Jeremy?
Oh, no, I haven't had a day off in
Jeremy.
Well, I just wanted to.
14,
I know.
15 days. I won't have a day off until I have Easter, so.
That's coming up. It's very early this year.
Yeah.
What about you, Jason?
Busy with a class. Steady.
Not so. This weekend I drove back to Michigan. Obviously, for those watching on YouTube, you can see I'm in a different location. But today was Oberon Day. We're filming on Monday the 25th, so I went out before this and had a Oberon. It's good this year. It's good this year. You know, it depends. It's year to year. It's not always the same. It depends on the hops and all that. But this year's good.
Well, is this officially the first year that's not Larry Bell in control anymore? So it's the Colorado company.
They sold 2 or 3 years ago. Larry.
Was it 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah, I thought last year was like the last year to get anything made.
Maybe.
With him still being kind of overseeing for actually officially stepped out.
I have some in the fridge in the basement if you want some.
From last year? I say get rid of them.
Neither of us are really a fan of them. I think Tate's brought them over and brought like a 12-pack and drank like 6 of them. On Friday, my wife and I went to see Brett Goldstein. He does a stand-up thing. He's Roy Kent from the soccer TV show, Ted Lasso. He's not quite as vulgar, but he's pretty vulgar in person still. It was pretty funny. We enjoyed that. The irritating thing is like, so when you go to this is because we were talking about Detroit, and I feel like I'm having issues with just going down to Detroit, because it's like, okay, well, we wanted to go to a restaurant, and this restaurant advertises that they have free parking, but it was closed when we got there. The free parking part was closed because they only have like 6 spots or something, and I'm like, well, that's stupid. So then we're like already somewhere I don't want to have to drive anywhere further around, and it ended up being the same time the Pistons were on, so we were parked right next to LCA, and it was like $55. I was like, okay, this was fun. And then I go into the bar. We still ate there for some stupid reason, just because we didn't want to have to go find somewhere else to eat. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have just like a bourbon. That's it, one for the whole night. And I'm like, well, how much is just like a regular Woodford Reserve? It's like a $40 bottle, $45 bottle or something like that. So I was expecting it to be around like $8 to $10, $12 as like a Detroit upcharged. When I asked her, she said, I think it's like $6, and I'm like, it's probably not right. So she comes back, she's like, it's $12. I was like, all right, that works. We get the bill at $16, and I'm like,
oh god,
cool. This is fun. I'm glad I asked. So that's kind of irritating for me personally, and like the food was just kind of terrible. I got like a turkey sandwich that was like, if you took turkey and then put it in a food dehydrator, that's what it kind of tasted like. So I'm just like, I don't really know where, because it's like touristy, but like it's touristy for like Michigan people. Like people aren't coming from out of state to go there. So like, why is there crap food? Like, why don't we have like good restaurants down there? So that kind of irritated me. And then Saturday we went out to my parents' house for like game night with our family. It was fun.
I thought Detroit's always been that way. When I lived up there, I used to go down there in my teenage 20s and stuff like that. It was just meh. I'd rather just stay work Flint area, or at least Genesee County anyways.
I think I'm spoiled because I live so close to Ann Arbor.
Yeah. Right, yeah, that too. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, the only hype that I enjoyed about Detroit when I lived in Michigan was just the concerts. But even then, they weren't really in Detroit. Like, what was that, the Palladium? Or I forget what that was, a Royal Oak or something like that. I guess they're all Detroit-ish.
The one thing I can say, and maybe I'll get, if I can remember, I'll put some photographs up, but the Fox Theater is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. It's very like European inspired. Paris. It reminded me a lot of like Paris, with the intricacies and everything was ornate. It's very, very fancy looking. It's what Detroit used to be. So it's like, I'm jealous of the people that grew up when Detroit was what it was. And now it's all industrialized and everything is metal and gross. Or they tore it all down, like the train station and stuff.
Yeah, I could tell you stories off camera. Well, I mean, you're going to have to go down there and drop stuff off. Yeah.
Sorry. Like a very...
Just sipping up.
Well, yeah, it's like a very nice color. I like that color.
Yeah, it's definitely darker than regular.
Carbonated.
Yeah, yours fizzed, or yours bubbled up. Mine did not.
Mm-hmm. It's going nuts. Speaking of high carbonation, I was at a homebrew club the other day and tried somebody's homebrew club, and that thing just hit my tongue and just like exploded with carbonation. Like, oh yeah, that's highly carbonated. I didn't even taste it. It would just fizz. But yeah, speaking of homebrew stuff, my cervezas definitely get better. It's pretty much crystal clear. I think maybe another week and it'll probably be optimal at this point. I did figure out the sweetness issue. That boils down to using crystal. I think it's crystal 16 is what I used in it. So next time I won't use that at all. I should dry it up a lot more and still have that nice balance to it. I know I've said this before in other podcasts. Like, I don't like lime in my beer to cover up the taste of the beer, but I should put lime in this to cover up the sweetness for the most part, so make it more palatable. So, because I've had other beer, like I've had Pacifico and Victoria and Modelo, stuff like that. They're delicious without a lime.
Yep.
So.
Now, what about a Corona? Do you like Corona without a lime?
I don't like Corona at all. Corona is just skunk ass.
It tastes like dirt.
This is skunk ass. Heineken's gross too. I don't like any of those light bottle beers. I just like when I was in the Bahamas, I had that one beer. Like I said, for $3, the Bahamas. That was delicious beer. That was in Bahamas.
Keep them coming.
Here, you can. No, I'd rather drink spoiled milk that was turned into cottage cheese. That was just not that good.
Yeah, and Mom and Dad, if you're listening, close your ears. But I bought a 12 pack. I bought a 12 pack of Bud Light from one of our local the shops that I go to look for bourbon and stuff. Drugstores. And I got it back, and
you got a problem.
I opened it up, and it just tasted like Heineken, and I'm like, oh, it smelled skunky, it tasted skunky, and I'm like looking at it, it says it expires in like April, and I was like, I really wanted Bud Lights, and I had to drive to like another store to get something else because I was just like, this was disgusting, and I threw out the entire 12 pack. I tried to drink 2 beers, and I was like, nope. That sucked.
Yeah,
that was like, I've never had to throw away stuff that I hadn't left in my fridge for 2 years.
I still like the fact that you went to like a drugstore. That was better. Like you just walked down the aisles, like, oh, they got liquor here. I'm gonna get some whiskey, and I'm gonna get this Bud Light. And I was going ahead and get some Tylenol because I'm gonna have a fucking hangover. And
well, the funny thing is, I did go to CVS. I did go to CVS to get the rest of the beer, and it was on sale.
There you go.
It is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Like Pittsburgh, you have to go to a beer distributor to get beer. You have to go to
Virginia's that way too.
yeah,
ABC store. Yeah.
yeah, maybe you have to go to ABC's or state-run stores to get liquor.
Mhm.
And then meanwhile, like Michigan, it's like I can go around the corner to like this random shop
Any
that
store.
sells,
Yeah.
that sells alcohol.
Tennessee's slowly getting that way. It's kind of hard. It's not a grocery store you can get liquor. We got wine probably about a decade ago. And they didn't get it in grocery stores.
Well, they're looking at trying
So
to
speaking
remove
of-
any cold alcohol. Like you won't be able to
right,
pick up
yeah.
any cold
Weird.
alcohol.
I don't know if we have time to get into that topic. No, we don't.
So weird.
Maybe next time.
What were you gonna say, Jeremy? Sorry.
Oh, I don't remember now. Let's go off on a tangent about something.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, I guess, do you have a recipe for a old ale? I don't know what old ale is. Have we had old ales before? Besides,
I think
guess,
they're just using that as a catch-all because they just made something that tasted this way. Or maybe it's brewed like a normal one.
I'm looking up real
old
quick.
ale is a style. It's a form of strong ale. Like, I
Yeah.
know that we've had. Could have sworn we've had something that was classified as an old ale.
We might have. But do I have a recipe? No, I found one real quick. That seems interesting. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna read the ingredients of it anyways. I'm not sure if I would make this. If I did, I would probably leave out this one ingredient, and I'll let you guys guess which ingredient.
Okay.
All right. So this makes 5 pounds. This makes 5 gallons. It's about 6.2 AEBV. Let's see. It has 10.5 pounds of Mare's Otter, 1 pound of flake corn, 5 ounces of British chocolate malt, 3 ounces of black strap molasses, then 3 ounces of Fuggles. And it uses, you can either use, what is that? An extra special bitters ale yeast or an English ale yeast for it. And looks like you get through this whole process in probably about 90 minutes, so it's not too bad. But out of the ingredients that I listed, which one do you think I would personally cut out?
I think you're
Flake
gonna cut
corn?
out the 10 pounds of malt. The 10 pounds of the first one. Just be
So
the
you're just
weakest
gonna
ass. Flaked corn. That's
So
it.
corn,
That's all
yeah.
you get in there.
Yeah, corn. No, I would not do corn. No, corn doesn't make sense to me in this one. Like
Like Kellogg's? Cornflakes?
yeah, right. No, actually, it's a corn that's like just kind of flattened out. It actually looks like cornflakes, just really dehydrated cornflakes. Honestly, yeah. But the only thing I think it was like, I guess it would give it some mouthfeel or slickness to it, like a cream ale would. But I don't think I would want that. The black strap molasses, which is pretty interesting because there's another drink I want to make. I'm thinking about this last time. Calls for it, and I guess there's one that has what is it called? Has like sulfates in it, so you want it to be unsulfated. And so like you have to be careful of the molasses that you buy because that can really screw up the whole beverage, whether it's beer, meat, or wine or whatever you're trying to make. I also think 3 ounces of Fuggles is quite a bit of hops, but sure, it just seems like a whole lot of hops.
It seems lower ABV than I was expecting it to be. That
Yeah.
recipe with 10 pounds
Yeah.
of base malt, or base
Which
malt.
only
Yeah, exactly.
the only sugar though is the 3 ounces of molasses.
Well, you're pulling it all out of your malts when you're cooking them. That's what
Malts,
that's what
yeah.
that's going to do is pull all the sugar out, and that would be converted. Basically, 10 pounds of the first thing would be converted into a ton of sugar. I would have thought.
So, like other people use candy syrup as another way to do it too, if I remember correctly, which is very popular in your triples, doubles, and singles. They use like a sugar that's been basically, what is that called? It starts with a B. I think it's a French word. Anyways, like you recook the sugar down a little bit more, so that you don't turn it into caramel, but like as sugar cooks, it goes through like different stages. So like you'll have like granule sugar, then you have like this weird goopy sugar that gets like a light caramel color, but it's not quite caramel yet. And you kind of go through these other phases. And eventually, you get the caramel itself.
Parboiled.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube short on this guy making mead out of Mountain Dew, and he said that in order to get it to ferment, you have to like lower the pH or raise the pH or whatever the hell it is, like get it basically to not be as acidic
Probably
or
raise
base.
it. Yeah.
So that you could, because they're purposely getting it that way so it doesn't accidentally ferment, like if there's like yeast introduced to it in the wild or whatever. It was like bright green colored, and he was saying that once it finished, he said it wasn't even that like terrible. He was expecting it to be like super weird, and it just tasted like a mead, mainly because he added a ton of honey to it, so it's not like it's, I don't know, so you're gonna get the same honey flavor out of it and stuff too, but it was just like extra sweet mead. So I'm excited to try and do experiments now that I got those two extra pony or carboy, whatever
Corny
they
kegs?
are. Party kegs, yeah, corny kegs.
Corny kegs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully here soon I'll have my, I think one's called a Sima I'm going to make. It's a Finnish mead, spring mead, and I'm going to make a 1750s, 1760s poor man's beer, which we can talk about that next time. Bring that up, so to remind me.
Are we all
Alrighty.
still thumbs up on this?
I am.
It's definitely.
Yep. Still a thumbs up for me.
So quite a bit left because it's the big boy.
Well, I drank faster than I should have. But yeah, I'm thumbs up.
Yeah. Cool. I just want to say thanks everybody for tuning in. And go have a pint with your pals. Have an Oberon with your pals.
There you go.
A month
Please
ago.
drink responsibly. Yes.
And like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. I just posted an article there today about Voodoo Brewing making a pizza flavored beer. I don't know about that one. But yeah, let us know what we should drink next. Hopefully not that one, or maybe we should.
I would be down.
Maybe. All right, so until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.